before we get started, make sure you like and subscribe and turn on that bell notification so you know when we upload. Alright, welcome back to a special edition Super Rugby W and Super Rugby Old Picky preview, season preview. We got a special guest. It was at the last Rugby World Cup, Women's Rugby World Cup. Please welcome from Drury Sports, JT, Josh Dungiri. Welcome, mate. Welcome.
Oh, how are we going? Good to be here. Good to finally get the call up off the bench.
Oh yeah,
mate, you're a walking billboard, mate. Look what you got on.
Mate, Siona told me that you weren't getting enough numbers in Fiji, so you have to call in the big guns. We need more clicks, mate. So I'm here.
Yeah. Answer the call. All right, now the season starts for both comps this weekend, and we want to go through our predictions for MVP, championship for both competitions, and also breakthrough player before we preview each game this coming weekend. Now, since it's your debut, JT, you want to kick us off with your top 3 MVP predictions for Super Rugby, Old Picky and Super W.
Top 3. So my Super W top 3, I've got Ashley Masters as one. Obviously, we all know what she can do. And I think with her joining the Western Force, she's got a lot of classy players around her. And I say that with all due respect to the Rebels, but at the Rebels, she was a one-man army. Yeah. But now at the Force, I reckon she'll be a force to be reckoned with.
Hey,
And that's just my first one. That's just my first one. The second one is one of my favourite players. Siona, you know this one, Faitala Moleka.
Yeah.
Bit of a backstory. She made her debut when she was 18, and I watched her game and I messaged Sione, and I was like, this Moleka chick, this Moleka girl, she's gonna play for Wallaroos. And that year, she played for Wallaroos.
Thanks for cutting out my reply.
What happened? You didn't believe me?
No, I didn't believe you, but yeah, I quickly came around when she proved me wrong. But yeah, carry on.
Yeah, I think she'll be one to watch. She's had a year under the Wallaroos playing at 15 and 10, and I think her playing at 10 is going to help her a lot, especially come Super W time. She's going to have a lot more time on her hands, and she got named at 10 for round 1 too for the Brumbies, so I'm excited about that because I think that's her preferred position. And then the third one for Super W needs no introduction, Maya Stewart. She killed it last year. She was the Wallaroos Player of the Year. If she's not the Player of the Year, she'll definitely be top try scorer. And I think, my opinion, she's one of the top 3 wingers in the world.
Okay. Good calls,
what do you reckon?
Mate. Great calls.
You agree with me, or?
Nah, yeah, I agree as well.
Oh, mate.
And then we'll go into your Old Picky. You got picks for Old Picky?
Yeah, Old Picky. The number 8 from Matatu, Kaipor Olsen-Baker. She was the number 8 for the Black Ferns, and she actually got Black Fern of the Year last year. So she is a barnstorming number 8. Loves her offloads, loves her big hits. I think she'll go close to Player of the Year. I think she did last year as well for Old Picky. So she's one of them. Liana Mikaletu from the Blues, also in the back row. A bit of a common theme here. I love the back row. So I reckon just her physicality that she brings in defence. I think she'll go a long way this year, because last year I'm pretty sure she was injured for a little bit of the season, and she would have missed out on some votes there. But if she plays the whole year of Old Picky, she'll go close to getting Player of the Year. And then last one, again, a winger, and she was Player of the Year last year, but I just can't go past her, Caitlin Varpol. She's a freak. She can finish, she can tackle, she can do everything. And I think she'll go close again this year to getting Player of the Year.
Yeah, great calls. And that's why I called him in, boys, because he knows. He knows, mate. So
all I see is names. It's like, who are these players?
Bro, I've got my list. I've got to say my names as well. I'm getting kicked off here.
Mate, you can't pick 6 draw players.
Seems I got to, yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, Nems, who are your picks? Any different with JT's picks?
Yeah, no, JT actually makes mine look like a none. Anyway, I've gone with Maya Stewart. Big fan of her, as you know. She, like JT said, she's a freak. She's actually one of the top wingers in the world, both in both men and women. Expect her to have a big year, especially now with all the Sevens girls coming across. You know, anyone that's playing wing in Australia, you know, you've got some players coming for your spot. So, but I also chose number 8 from the Brumbies, Tambua Level, Tuina Vakau. So I can't say. Tui Nakavandra.
Yeah.
Bros, you're Fijian.
I know. But we had this last week, man. This was last week. Tui Nakavandra.
Yeah.
She's at number 8. Had a big year last year off the back of the scrum. You know, she's like the Rob Valentini version and just goes hard. So, and then I've actually gone with not so much MVP, but just someone to keep an eye out. She's a number 12 for Fijiana Drua. Josavini Naihamu. She's from Nandranga, so she's a number 12, young. Seen her train, seen her play in a few of the. They had a internal trial game in Fiji a few weeks ago, and she carved up. She's she's pretty stocky, so expect her to have sort of keep your eyes out on her. She's starting this week against the Waratahs, so it'll be good to see how she goes. And the women's, I've gone with Kalen Vahakolo.
Yeah.
We all know, but I'm keen. It's not. She's not young, but she's been around, and I expect her to kill it in the 15s game, and that's Portia Woodsman-Wycliffe.
Yeah.
She is I reckon she's gonna tear this competition up. So I expect her to score some tries, some outrageous tries. And another one just to keep your eyes out, and expect her to have a big season. She was at the Drua last year. She had a big year for them. I thought she was their MVP, and she's now at the Chiefs. Jode Coates. So, she's powerful lock, goes hard, does all the hard stuff that, us wingers don't want to do. So expect her to have a big season, and I think she's going to, it's good to see that she's come over from the women's Super Rugby W over to there, and I think that's probably a competition that's most would say a tougher competition than Super Rugby W.
Some great picks there, Fonz. Do you have any to add to these boys' names?
Oh, I would say with JT, good to see you on here, because your list was nearly exactly the same as the list I had.
That's
I had Masters,
Great mind.
Masters, Moleka, and Stewart, all on there. So,
type it right. What a typing guy.
So but JT's right. Moleka, she had a great year for the Wallaroos. I see her pushing on again with the Brumbies. They got a quite a good looking team they do at down in Canberra. Obviously Maya Stewart, she just knows how to find the try line. Don't need to talk too much about her. My favourite player, Ash Masters, just can play hooker, can play back row, can play centre. She can play anywhere, and by far I think Australia's best forward consistently for the last few years. So that's the three who I had, same as JT. From the All Picky side, I actually had Kai-Paul Olsen as well. Olsen Baker. She was actually at the Manawatu Cyclones in the Farah Palmer Cup. Went down to Matatu to get a bit more game time down there, and she's just dominated. She had a year of injuries there, and now she's down at Matatu. She's just playing very well. Another shout out is down there is the halfback Maya Joseph, daughter of Jamie Joseph. She was the Black Ferns halfback last year. I thought her position will change from 10 to 9. Has worked wonders for her. She was playing 10 for Otago in the Farah Palmer Cup, so her going into 9 I think is a great move for her. One to look out for, you might not know her. Her name is Braxton Sorensen McGee.
Yeah.
She's McGee, sorry. She played last year in the youth Global Youth Sevens at the end of last year for New Zealand, and she actually played, I'm pretty sure, at the Coral Coast for the New Zealand Sevens women. So she's in the Blues. She had a pretty good preseason looking at some of the footage I saw, and she's definitely one to look out for.
Yeah, she killed it in Farah Palmer for Auckland. And any names like JT, he took two of mine from Super W. I also had May Stewart and Ash Masters, some of the greats. But one of the names, one of my favourite players of all time is Georgia Fredericks, also a West chick that went down to New South Wales. I think she had a strong tens campaign in the second best tens in the world over in America. At the end of last season, she was MVP there, and I think she's going to kick on this year for the Tars. So that was my Super W. And in Old Picky, I also had Caitlin Vahakolo. But there's two other names that haven't popped up yet that I think will be in the conversation for MVP. It's the return of Aisha Letiinga for Hurricanes Boa. Yeah. She killed it in her first game for the Black Ferns, coming back from injury against England over in Twickenham. And then the other one is Ruahei Demant. I think she's still the best 10-12 in the world. She reminds me a bit of Richie, where it looks like everything slows down for her when she has ball in hand. And mate, she's still one of my favourite players to watch, even though she's playing for the dark side of the Black Ferns. But those are our MVP picks. If you got your picks, who you think will do well in this year's competitions, make sure you put it down in the comments. And then we go into championship predictions. Who we think are going to take out both competitions. JT, take it away. Who's going to be the champions of Super W and Old Picky?
Well, Super W, it's hard to go past the Waratahs again, going back to back. I've got them down as my winners, and them to beat the Force in the final. I just think their back row stock at the Tars is ridiculous. They've named a classy back row, and they still haven't even got Piper Duck. She's still injured. And then obviously they've lost a few key forwards in Eva Karpani, who's gone to the Reds, and obviously Atassi Lafai, who suffered that injury pre-season. So yeah, thoughts are with Atassi with that. But I just think with Kapani and Atassi Lafai gone, I think it's really a chance for Annabelle Cody to stand up in the forwards. And I think if they're to go a long way, she'll have to have a big year. She's underrated ball carrier. And I think the more time she touches the ball, the more go forward they'll get, and we'll release the backs such as G. Fred and Maya Stewart. But yeah, I think the Tars are going back to back for me.
Yeah, that's a good shout. And then they've got added on the sevens, Soro Paki, when she comes back. That's going to be a deadly one for them. And you got any tips for in the Old Picky?
Yeah, and the Old Picky, same again. Back to back for the Blues. You hit the nail on the head there with Ruahei Demant. She just plays like she's got a lot of time on her hands. I actually had that down in my notes. But then they got the cheat codes out wide, Portia Woodman-Wycliffe and Vahakolo. So I don't think anyone will be stopping them. But I've actually got them to beat Matatu in the final. I reckon they'll surprise some people. They've got a few new recruits. So I think it'll be a Blues Matatu final.
Okay, great call. That's a great call in Matatu. They did have Hannah King move from Hurricanes Boa over to work that Black Ferns magic in the 9-10 combo. Nems, who are your two picks for over here in Australia and in New Zealand?
My two picks, I've gone with Tars. Like JT said, they're going to be unstoppable this year. They're a well-drilled side. They've actually got big shout out to Iliseva Batimbasanga, who's now their assistant coach over there. She spent some time with West Harbour, former Australian grade, former Waratah grade as well. So she's been working really hard with their 9s and 10s. And I just think, like JT said, May Stewart, she's going to have a big game. I dare say they'll play the Drua in the finals. So this round one game will be the finals. I think, it's one thing. There's only one team that tested the Drua in Fiji, and that was the Tars, and they ran loops around the Drua. But I just think it's a new young squad. Like I said, I like the new look of this team. The Force will probably, it's one thing playing here in Australia. It's not until you go over there, and I think that's where the Drua can catch them. If they can get a home semi, See you later. It'll be. I just think it'll be a Tars Drua finals. In New Zealand, the Blues, they're just too strong.
Yeah.
I just think they'll go back to back, and it's good luck to whoever's playing them in the finals.
Yeah, true. I don't know why JT just secret private messaged me saying what his name's copying my homework, but we'll play on. Fons, who are your picks?
Wait, Fons is in this group too.
No, look, I think both of you boys are right, Waratahs. The things that separate the Waratahs women's from the rest, I think, is their forward pack. Their forward pack is by far, I reckon, more dominant than any of the other teams at the moment going around. Look, like the Reds got some good backs, all the teams got some decent backs, but for me, the Waratahs forwards year in, year out are by far the strongest, and I think that's where they had a good pre-season in New Zealand against the Blues and Hurricanes Power. So that was good to see them there, but I do think they will play the Drua in the final. I think the Drua women, like Nem said, they're tough if they can get it together, I believe. The other thing too is with the Aussie 7 skills, you just don't know when they're going to come back as well. So, the Reds by far have a lot of Aussie 7 skills, but don't know how many games they're going to play. So that plays into a big factor. Over in New Zealand at the Aupiki, same again, Blues. I don't know if you saw the preseason game against the Chiefs Manawa. They put 60-something points on them. I know it's a preseason game, but that's a huge scoreline. And they have picked up some good players at the Blues. I think they will play Chiefs Manawa still. I think even though Matatu's picked up some good pickups, Hannah King's actually from Christchurch, so she's actually going back home to Matatu. But I believe that it's going to be a Blues Chiefs Manawa final.
All right. I'm going, just like me and my playing days, I'm going against the grain here, boys, and I'm going Western Force. Hoping Twiggy's going to see this and then sponsor us, but I'm going for the Force, mate. Ash Masters making the trip over. Tamika Jones back from injury. I think that back row is going to be on lock. And then Georgia Cormack, she played for the Rebels a few years ago before she went back to play some Aupiki, but she's in the halves there with Grace Freeman, who also played a bit of Farah Palmer Cup. So a lot of experience there in the 9-10 combo, and I think they've got the stars out wide. They got a lot of wingers there that they only played a few games last year each, and they all can do the job. So I'm going to back Twiggy's Angels here, and I'm going to go Western Force in Australia. Notable mention to my Reds. I still love the Reds, but I think they're going to do it hard. Like Fon said, without a decent forward pack, they probably had the worst forward pack last year. And they'll probably get the backs, but the Sevens players, I doubt Madison Levi is going to see any Super W games with their thumb injury. And but yeah, it'll be great to see any of those Sevens girls get in and get a shot and try and make that Wallaroos team. But over the ditch in Aupiki, I'm going with the Hurricanes Boa. I just think Eleanor Plum-King and Leila Sae there. Eleanor Plum-King's very underrated. She's very good on the ball. She's a bit like Jimmy Tavanawa, but light skin. She's very good with turnovers. And then Aisha Letinga, I've talked about it before, but her finishing skills along with Harmony Koltai a bit more. And then in the centres, Shakira Baker. She's already signed with the Warriors, but hopefully she'll be back for next year. But this is before she goes over to the Warriors. But her combination with Monica Tangawai in the centres is going to do well. And then the Samoan fly half, Manasina's fly half, Cassie Siatanga, she's over there at Hurricanes. I hope they do well, and I hope they take the cup this year in Super Rugby Aupiki. Now, before we get into a quick preview of the games, any rookies that haven't popped up in the last few years? Any whispers you've heard, JT?
Yeah, coming out of the Tars, their hooker, she's actually starting this weekend, Millie Parker. She's got a bit of a Sevens background. Not many of us hookers do, but she'll be quick around the park, and she's a real workhorse. So she's one to watch out for, Super W wise anyway. Yep. And in the Aupiki, I don't know, I'm not sure if you've heard of this name, Fons, Holly Ray Mete for Matatu. She had a great Farah Palmer Cup season, and she led the comp in clean breaks, defenders beaten, offloads and meters gained. So she's come over from the Hurricanes to Matatu, and I think this will be her year to shine.
All right, great call. And then any whispers you've heard over in Fiji? You already called your breakthrough player. Is that the
Yeah,
center?
I already called it. The young 12 from Nundringa.
All right. And Fons, any you calling around? Rookie?
Just obviously, I talked about it before on the all-picky side is Braxton,
yeah.
young teen out of the Blues. I have big reps on her, if not in 15s, 7s especially. So
Yeah.
great footwork for her. And you actually brought up the other one I had as my one to rookie out of the Super W, and that was Grace Freeman out of the fly half out of the Force.
Yeah.
She was playing for North Harbour, I believe, in the
Yeah.
Farah Palmer Cup. She's come over here to get obviously some game time at the Force, so it'd be very interesting to see how she goes.
Yep, Gracie, she won a Sydney, they don't call it Shield or Jack Scott Cup anymore, but she won the women's comp with Sydney Uni there before she made the move over, so that's a good shout. My one for Super W, she only played a handful of games last year off the bench for the Tars. Bubba Ellis, she reminds me of Chris Sandow, and she's got the skills. I think she's going to be great. I hope Rugby Australia can hold on to her, because I know NRL are going to be trying hard to get hands on her. So I think she's going to have a decent season. I think she's starting this weekend at fullback, and then in Aupiki, I've got Lemalu Dijon Brown from the Blues. She was in the squad last year, but she was stuck behind one of the greatest Black Ferns Sevens players in Nye Guthrie Williams. I think she loves to tackle and she loves to contact. So keep an eye out for her in that 7 jersey for the Blues. And that was our quick little Super Rugby W and Aupiki predictions, but now we'll get into the 4 games this weekend in Aupiki and Super W, starting off with the Chiefs hosting Matatu. Who are we going?
Chiefs. I just think they're going to go strong. I'm backing the Chiefs.
So Chiefs and JT, you rolling with Nem's pick?
No. Sticking with Matatu. I think they'll win 1-12, but I think it'll be a good battle up front in the front row. Amy Rule, Georgia Ponsonby up against Crystal Murray and Tanya Coloni Vale. So I think whoever wins that battle will go a long way into winning the game. And as you guys mentioned earlier, Hannah King's over as well to Matatu, so that'll be good for them. And I think the Chiefs, they'll still have a bit of a hangover from losing last year's final.
Wow.
Firing shots there, mate.
Isn't the game's in at Chiefs, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fucking that'd be cool.
So and Fons, who are you going for, mate? I know you're a Chiefs man.
This will be real close. The team lists haven't come out from what I've seen.
Yeah, I've been trying to look for it.
Lists. I know the Super W teams have come out, but not the all-picky teams. But look, they'll be close. I still think Chiefs Manawa 1-12. I do think the one special mention is Hazel Tubrick. She plays 10. She's been around for a long time and very good 10 for them. And the other one is Rosie Kelly, who was playing NRLW for the Eels. She's over at Chiefs Manawa as well. And Renee Holmes is the other big name there too. So I think it'll be real close, but I just think Chiefs Manawa just.
Yeah, I was sold with JT's call, and then Fons put me over back to the Chiefs. I think another name missing there is Ruby Tui at Chiefs Manawa, and also Shoshana Simanatafa. So I'm going to go Chiefs as well, 1-12. And then second game in Aupiki, Hurricanes Boa hosting the Blues.
Yeah, if my favourite player Portia Woodman's playing, then I'm going the Blues, which she probably is.
Okay.
The Blues.
JT?
Yeah, I think this will be the match of the round, and I've gone Blues 13 plus here. I just think they'll be too good. Coming back, they've had a good pre-season. They've versed the Tars and a few other teams, and they've come away with. Actually, they drew against the Tars, but they've been good in the other games. And I just think it'll be a good contest with Letia Inga and either Portia Woodman or Vaha Paul, whoever she's marking. That'll be a contest in itself. And also, what I'm really looking forward to is the contest of the back row. Eleanor Plum King and Layla Sayer up against Liana Mikalea Tu'u and I'm hoping Elizabeth Moimoy, but we'll see how they go. But I'm going Blues 13 plus.
Damn. Okay. And Fons?
Yeah, to be honest, I agree with JT. He's done his homework by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
13 plus Blues.
First time.
They look, but look, you look at that Blues team, very deep squad. Just one player from the Hurricanes, so I want another mention is Jonah Nawu, the lock there. The hand that won them the World Cup, the line out steal right at the end. Very good player. I think she's very underrated. She's another big player for the Hurricanes, but I just think that Blues team is just too deep and they're just too strong. So Blues 13 plus.
Yeah, so lock those picks in. I won't say my pick. I already said Hurricanes are going to win, but these guys are trying to prove me wrong with all their facts. How do you come with facts? But yeah, we'll go over to Super Rugby W in Australia, starting off with the Tars hosting the Drua. Nems.
Oh, as much as I'd love the Drua to win, they've got 6 debutants playing this game. Look, I could be wrong. We said that about the Brumbies going over to the Drua and they got the job done. But like I said, I just think it's a young squad, this Drua squad. This Waratahs team is on paper. They're just building. They're going strength to strength. That tour to New Zealand that they had and that draw that they had against the Blues. I think they'll take a lot out of that tour that they did to New Zealand. Looked like a bit of fun, a lot of team bonding. Obviously, watching their social media. So, I just think they're probably I'd think as a punter looking at all the social medias, probably the best prepared side for this competition. They hardly go on tours, so I think that's going to do them a lot of good. But again, they're going to be playing against a young Drua team at home, first home game. They're going to be buzzing. I just think it's going to be a tough night for our Drua women.
All right, Tars, 13 plus. JT, you backing Nems?
Yeah, for once in my life, I'll back Nems. Tars 13 plus. I just think Drua. It's a bit of a rebuilding season for them. They've lost a lot of key players, a lot of experienced players. As Nem said, they have 6 debutants. There's a few girls also there from Sevens who are debuting as well. They do get back Vitalina Nakore. You might remember she played in the NRLW. She came back from the Cowboys. When she last played for them, I think 2002, she scored a hat-trick in the final against the Tars. So she'll be a big inclusion for them. And just with the Tars, I think they're just too classy from 1 to 15. And just special mention as well to M. Chancellor and Ariana Talakai. They're both coming back from ACL recon. They put in the hard yards and, it's paid off and they're both back in the side. M. Chance is actually captaining the side. So well done to both of them.
Let's go. And Fons?
Very much the same. I just think first game of the year. I think it's the game before the men's game on Friday night. Double header. So, which would be good to see. Just the Tars, just going off preseason form. I'm just wondering, Drua had such a big turnover in players and movement. Seeing that most of them are local girls, I'd be assuming. Is it just because of new staff or just?
No, guys move on. Obviously, we've still got the Fiji Sevens as well, and then obviously a lot of them went to the rugby league. Some with Super W.
If you look at all the other squads, there's a Fijian in every other squad as well.
Yeah,
taking them.
True,
that was my next point. So
true. Yeah. So, I just noticed that, but look, just going back on the game, look, just the Waratahs, they just got a deep squad and they're at home as well, so that'll be the big factor. If this game was in Fiji, this could be a very close game. So just Tars for me.
Lock in the Tars, and then final game we have Western Force hosting the Brumbies. Nems, who's your pick?
Oh, look, I'm going to go. I haven't really looked at the Brumbies side, but I've looked into the Force team, and they look pretty strong. Number 8, Ashley Masters. Sarah Naingama makes a debut for the Force. She made the move over from Sydney, obviously to work on her game. So she's obviously doing media and whatnot, but she's moved over there so that she can concentrate and try and make the World Cup this year. So big move, expect some big things from her. But for me, it's at number 14. Andivani Buleki. She's Fiji Sevens, played Fijiana, quick, rapid. She just signed with the Force, so mate, if she gets into open space, she's going to be unreal. And that I just think the Force, again, they look like another well-drilled side. They'll be thereabouts. And I just think they'll beat their forward pack. I just think it'll be too strong for the Brumbies.
True. Good shout. And JT?
Yeah, I agree with Nems on this one. I've gone Force to win 1-12. Just they're probably the most interested in watching them play. They've recruited the most. I'm excited to see. It's flown a bit under the radar, but Cecilia Smith, her and Trilene Pomare in the centres there. I think that's a great signing, and they'll really lock up that midfield. And it'll be hard to get through them. And then you got Ash Masters, Sarah Nagama, Michaela Leonard as well. All these girls with valuable experience. So I think they'll just be too good for the Brumbies. There's a lot of debutants as well for the Brumbies. I think they'll struggle with. But if senior players like Percy Palu and Tanya Naden step up, there might be a chance with Faitala Moleka steering the ship.
Yeah, good shout. And Fons, any hope for the Brumbies or?
No, look, you look at the Force women's side. They're a bit like the men's side, didn't they? They recruited a lot of players in the off season, and people getting opportunities, which is good to see. The big one for me, Michaela Leonard, there at lock, just another one that's been around for a long time at that level. I just can't see the Force losing this at home. First up, I've been quite impressed with them too in the pre-season. I think that. Did they play the Reds at Ballymore? And actually, there was quite a big scoreline too.
Yeah.
So I know it's pre-season, but look, I just think that Force team, that's the strongest Force team on paper I've seen since I played Super W.
Yeah.
I agree. I wonder what Twiggy's paying on players alone at that club, men and women's. Fucking hell.
Well, I'm guessing it's what they deserve. So thanks, Twiggy. Thank you for your work there.
Oh, yeah, Twiggy, you're the best.
Wait. Tony, why did you laugh and say that at the same time, man?
No, I just smiled. That's my smile. Thank you. Thanks for noticing. But yeah, that was our breakdown of Super Rugby and Super Rugby W and Super Rugby Aupiki. Well, hopefully one day they'll join and help me with this tongue twister. But we'll try and regroup halfway through the season, see how our picks are going. But boys, thanks for showing up. You guys already said your shout outs, but we'll kick to JT. You got any shout outs for the week?
Oh, no, just shout out to all the debutants in Aupiki and Super W. Also, there's a few returning from injury, and also some from maternity leave. So, just shout out to all of them. We see all your hard work, and it's all paid off. And round one's about to begin. So go out and enjoy it, girls.
Yeah, let's go, man. That's why we bought it on. That's why we bought it on.
That has got to be the thumbnail.
We're gonna make that the start of the highlight. So thank you, mate. Thanks for joining, boys. Mate. Thanks for calling in, and we'll see you in a few weeks. Thank you.
JT, it's motherfucker.
Yeah, boys.